Sexual thoughts are a natural part of human experience, driven by biology and societal influences. However, there are circumstances where these thoughts can be distracting or unwelcome, whether due to personal values, religious beliefs, or the desire to focus on other aspects of life. Managing sexual thoughts can be challenging, but with the right techniques and mindset, it is possible to redirect one's attention and energy toward more constructive pursuits. This video outlines top proven strategies to avoid sexual thoughts, offering practical examples and guidance. Understanding the nature of sexual thoughts. Before delving into how to avoid sexual thoughts, it's important to understand their nature. Sexual thoughts often arise from a complex mix of biological instincts, psychological factors, and external stimuli. These thoughts are tied to our emotional and physical needs, but they can also be triggered by boredom, stress, or media consumption. Recognizing when and why these thoughts occur is the first step toward managing them effectively. Sexual thoughts are not inherently wrong, but their prevalence can become problematic if they interfere with daily life, personal goals, or mental well-being. Learning how to identify and control these thoughts can foster mental clarity and emotional balance, providing a sense of mastery over one's mind. Practicing mindfulness and awareness. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings and thoughts. When sexual thoughts emerge, mindfulness can help by allowing individuals to observe these thoughts without becoming attached to them. For example, imagine you're working on a project and suddenly a sexual thought intrudes. Instead of indulging in it, you can pause and observe the thought as just that, an idea passing through your mind. By acknowledging the thought without judgment, you take away its power. You can then gently refocus on your task. Mindfulness teaches that thoughts, whether positive or negative, are transient and don't have to define one's actions. By becoming aware of the thoughts and their triggers, you can begin to manage them more effectively. Engaging in physical activities. Physical activity is an excellent way to redirect mental energy and manage sexual thoughts. Exercise releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress, both of which can contribute to a decrease in intrusive thoughts. For example, when faced with recurring sexual thoughts, going for a jog or engaging in a workout can help clear your mind. Physical exertion consumes energy that might otherwise fuel unwanted thoughts, providing a healthy outlet. Not only does exercise provide a distraction, but it also promotes mental discipline and self-control. Engaging in physically demanding hobbies like swimming, dancing, or martial arts can further channel energy into productive activities, creating distance from sexual thoughts. Limiting exposure to triggers. Many sexual thoughts are triggered by external stimuli, such as media, images, or even certain social interactions. By identifying and reducing exposure to these triggers, individuals can reduce the likelihood of sexual thoughts arising in the first place. For example, if you find that certain TV shows, websites, or social media platforms trigger unwanted sexual thoughts, take steps to limit or avoid these sources. Instead, curate your media consumption to focus on content that aligns with your values and keeps your mind engaged in more productive directions. Using tools like content filters, screen time management, or productivity apps can also help regulate the amount of exposure to triggering material. This conscious effort to avoid triggers is a proactive way to reduce the chances of sexual thoughts intruding. Cognitive behavioral strategies. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a widely used therapeutic approach that helps individuals identify and challenge unhelpful thought patterns. In the context of sexual thoughts, CBT techniques can be applied to question the validity and necessity of these thoughts, replacing them with healthier mental patterns. For example, if you find yourself fixating on a sexual thought, ask yourself, is this thought helping me right now? Or what purpose does this serve? Often, sexual thoughts arise as a response to stress, loneliness, or boredom, rather than a genuine desire for intimacy. By challenging the thought, you can begin to dismantle the mental framework that supports it. Replacing the thought with a more constructive one, such as focusing on a personal goal or a task you need to accomplish, shifts your mental focus and reduces the thought's power over you. Fostering creativity and mental engagement. Idle minds are more prone to wandering, which can include the emergence of sexual thoughts. Engaging in creative or mentally stimulating activities is a powerful way to avoid these thoughts by keeping the brain occupied. For example, when you notice sexual thoughts arising, redirect your attention to a mentally demanding task, such as solving a puzzle, painting, or learning a new skill. Creative endeavors not only engage your mind, but also offer an emotional outlet, reducing the need for mental distractions like sexual fantasies. Reading books, engaging in meaningful conversations, or taking up new hobbies that challenge your intellect can further reduce the mental space available for intrusive thoughts. By keeping your mind busy with activities that align with your personal goals, you reduce the likelihood of unwanted thoughts surfacing. Spiritual and religious practices. For many people, spiritual or religious practices provide a framework for mental discipline and moral guidance. Prayer, meditation, and reflection on spiritual teachings can help redirect focus away from sexual thoughts toward more meaningful aspirations. For example, if you're experiencing persistent sexual thoughts, turning to prayer or meditative practices can offer relief. Focusing on higher spiritual goals or reciting verses from sacred texts helps to shift attention from physical desires to more transcendental pursuits. Religious teachings often emphasize the importance of controlling desires and impulses, offering both philosophical and practical advice on managing thoughts. Meditation and mindfulness, in particular, are spiritual practices that emphasize the calming of the mind and the control of intrusive thoughts. Seeking professional support. If sexual thoughts become obsessive or intrusive to the point of impacting daily life, seeking professional help is a crucial step. Therapists, especially those trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can provide effective strategies for managing these thoughts and uncovering any underlying psychological causes. For example, a therapist might help you explore whether your sexual thoughts are linked to unresolved emotional needs, trauma, or anxiety. By addressing the root cause, you can work towards long-term solutions rather than temporary fixes. Group therapy or support groups that focus on managing thoughts and behaviors can also provide a sense of community and accountability, helping individuals feel supported as they work through these challenges. Cultivating self-compassion. One of the most important aspects of managing sexual thoughts is self-compassion. It's easy to feel guilt or shame when these thoughts arise, especially if they conflict with personal or moral values. However, treating oneself with kindness and patience is essential in overcoming these mental challenges. For example, if you find yourself dwelling on sexual thoughts, avoid harsh self-criticism. Instead, acknowledge that thoughts are a normal part of human experience and that they do not define you. Remind yourself of the progress you've made in managing these thoughts and celebrate small victories. Practicing self-compassion means accepting that change takes time and that setbacks are part of the process. By being kind to yourself, you create an environment conducive to growth and improvement. Avoiding sexual thoughts requires a multifaceted approach that includes mindfulness, physical activity, cognitive strategies, and personal discipline. By becoming aware of triggers, engaging in mentally and physically stimulating activities, and seeking professional or spiritual support when necessary, individuals can successfully manage and redirect their mental energy. Ultimately, the goal is not to suppress natural thoughts, but to foster a balanced and healthy relationship with one's mind and desires. Each individual's journey will be unique, and progress may take time. However, with persistence, self-compassion, and a clear sense of purpose, it is possible to reduce the prevalence of sexual thoughts and focus on other meaningful areas of life.